Alrighty, we are getting exercise sheet out. Oh, and there went, dived off the table in a suicide attempt that was foiled by.
By who?
Well,
By me?
well, partly by Bryn, partly by the fact that the floor was not very far, partly by the fact that it's not alive. All of those things. Okay, for time constraints, again, next year I need to make this class definitely at least 1 hour and then have a break in between so that the next class doesn't, come in and invade. Mihi nominest. I'm just going to go around and ask like different people different things. Okay? So mihi nominest Mrs. Ferguson. Quid est nomen tibi? So what is your name? Quid est nomen tibi?
Mihi nomen est Julia?
Boom. Quid est nomen tibi? Boom. See, this is an easy question. If all questions, what is your name? If all questions were that easy. Okay. Quomodo te habes, Bryn. Quomodo te habes. Esne. Optime, bene, male, pessime. Optime, bene. Quomodo te habes. Schio, I know this. Quomodo te habes. Bene, et quomodo te habes. Optime. Bene. Sum ego sum bene. Quid significat? Lucus. Quid significat insula? In Anglice, in English. What does it mean, insula? Quid is bene. Amelia. Quid significat pater? Boom. Bene. Quid significat femina? Bene. Quid significat puer? Bene. Marcus est improbus puer. Pulsat sororem, pulsat Juliam est malum. Bene. Hodie, today, we're going to learn, and have we done salvete before? Ego dico, I say, salvete. Tu dicis salve. I say to all of you, salvete. And you say to me, salve. And this is actually the thing we're going to talk about today. This is the goodbye. This is the new thing we're learning. So we're going to learn why we have two different forms. We kind of talked about it, then it dropped off the radar. But today it's coming back on the radar, big time. Because we're going to find out why we have two forms. Christian, what is your question?
I remember learning this in your
Oh, yeah. So the beginning hint is, when I talk to all of you, I say salvete. When any of you talks to me, you say salve. And then when I say goodbye to you, which I need to remember to do, except most of you aren't leaving. None of you are leaving after the end of this, so I don't really say goodbye to you. Valete, I say to you, but to me you say vale. And if you want to address me, you can address me as magistra. Magistra est femina magister. Magister est vir. Magistra est femina. Sum femina. Itque magistra.
We are
Discipuli. Tu was. Tu et tu. Was estis discipuli. Discipulus est puer. Discipula est puella. Habet us. Habet a. Est puer. Est puella. Well, est vir est femina. Femina, potest femina esse discipula, ego sum discipula. I'm a student too. Okay. Please grab, I want to do this in order of importance. We just left those Pensum questions just hanging in the air. So could everybody open your Familia Romana book to page 25? And I have forgotten to get my glasses out. And suddenly I noticed that. And we're going to go through the questions, and then we're going to see how much of that exercise sheet we can look at. But I don't anticipate going over the whole thing. So I might just take them from you. I'm not grading them. I just want to see, oh, everybody's got this idea. Boom. Or, oh, nobody got this idea. I should talk about that more. All right? It's not a test thing. It's just a practice thing. But first, I want to go over Pensum C. So, Christian, do you need a book?
Yes.
Do you need to go sit with someone who has a book?
You can use mine and I'll share with Lou.
If I were closer to you, I'd just let you use my book. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Brent. Thank you.
Est boni discipuli. Boni discipuli. Sunt boni discipuli. Okay. Interrogatum primum, the first question. Quis Juliam pulsat? If you wrote these down somewhere, you can get them out. If you didn't write them down somewhere, Amelia, do you, oh, you've got your book on your lap. If you did write them down somewhere, let's see if we can figure them out, okay? Quis, and if you want to answer it in English, it's totally fine. Quis Juliam pulsat? Quis. Este Julius? Minimi. Marcus. Marcus Juliam pulsat. Bene, quia Marcus est improbus. Est malus puer. Bene. Cur Julia plorat. Cur. Marcus pulsat. Quia Marcus eam pulsat. Marcus Juliam pulsat. Bene. Quintus ne quoque Juliam pulsat? Pulsat ne Quintus Juliam? Minime. Quintus non Juliam pulsat. No. Ita. Quem Quintus pulsat. Let me write this one on the board. Quem Quintus pulsat. Quem est. Oh, let's write our endings down here. Us, e, I, nominative, genitive. I'm sorry, I took up the whole board with my other stuff. And accusative, and then we have our accusative quem and quam. So who is doing the hitting in this question? Who's the subject? Quintus. Literally, it says Quintus hits whom? Marcus said, we can't say Marcus us, quia Marcus est objectum. Yes. Quintus pulsat Marc. Bene. Marcum Quintus pulsat. Said, if Marcus hit Quintus, we could just do a quick change, couldn't we? And now we said something that's not true. Maybe it is true. Yeah, it is true. Marcus hits Quintus. If we just switch the endings, it switches who's the subject, who's the object. But the question said quem. Quintus pulsat quem, Quintus pulsat Marcum. Bene? If I ever say something that doesn't make sense, stop me immediately. Right? And just say, yeah, do that again. Say that again, I don't know. Non intelligo. This is a good one to learn. Non intelligo. I don't understand. I use this in my classes. Sometimes my teacher asks me something and it's kind of complicated, like non intelligo or nescio. I don't know. All right. Kur Aemilia venit. Kur. Quia Julia plorat. Et Aemilia Juliam audit. Bene, bene. Quis Julium vocat? Nescio. Oh, ita. Well, Julium. Quis Aemilia vocat Julium? Esne Marcus or Quintus? Oh, Quintus, quoque. Quintus Julium vocat. Pater. Aemilia non videt Julium, quia Julius dormit. Et videt, sed Quintus Julium vocat, sed quoque Aemilia vocat. I already answered this one. Cur Julius quintum non audit. Cur Julius non audit quintum. Quintus vocat. Pater, Julius non audit. Cur. Dormit. Julius dormit. Non audit, quia dormit. Yeah, those dads who want to take naps. I don't know. Quem.
You could have been out in like military duty all night.
Quem audit Julius. Oh. Non memini. I don't remember. Quem audit Julius. Let's write this one on the board. It's just like that one we just did, isn't it? It's a quem question. Quem audit. Is that what it says? Yes. Audit Julius. Who's doing the hearing in this question? Julius, because it's got a subject ending. So Julius is hearing whom? Whom does Julius hear?
I think it's Amelia.
Oh, I don't remember. Nescio. Okay, we got to. Oh. At the bottom, page 21. Marcus plorat. Quia Aemilia verberat. Marcum. Et Marcus plorat. Et Julius eum audit. Est Marcum. Est direct object. Quem audit Julius? How will I fill in that? Marcum. Est, when it's interesting when we ask these question words, the answer is going to be in the same case as the question, right? Quem audit Julius? Marcum audit Julius. Quia plorat. Not such a strong dude now, is he, Christian? He's crying because he got a spanking. Okay. I already blew up the next question, but we'll give it to you anyway. Cur Marcus plorat. Aemilia verberat eum. Ridet ne Julia. Ridet significat. Ridet. Ridet ne Julia? Minime. Non ridet, quia est bona puella. Non ridet when her brother gets spanked. Unlike maybe some of us who might do that. I don't know. Okay, the last three questions are they're grammar questions. They're not really questions about the story. Num Marcus, verbum Marcus, accusativus, Marcus, nominativus accusativus. Esne Marcus accusativus? Marcus. Est Marcus, the word Marcus. Esne accusativus? Est accusativus, est nominativus. Marcus. Minime, non est accusativus, est nominativus. It's nominative. And then the next one is just like it. Num Juliam. Juliam. Est a nominativus. Minime, est accusativus. Est hic. Et quid est dormit? Quid significat dormit? Significa, show me. Bene, est dormit. Non dormitis. Non dormite. Non dormite. In a later chapter, we will go to school. I don't know that we'll get to it this year, honestly. We will go to school with Marcus, and we find out that all of the students sleep in school because their teacher is so very boring, which is just very, very mean. Thank you. Is my goal. No, I was going to say. My husband asked, did any of your students fall asleep today? I'm like, no. No. I actually have had students fall asleep. But I don't feel like that is my fault. I feel like I don't know whose fault it is because maybe they're not feeling well or they stayed up too late, so I never take it personally. But we don't want that to happen.
Stay up too late.
Okay, everybody grab exercise 2. What time do we have? Oh, we're doing well. I want to spend about 15 minutes on this, and we're going to see how far we get. And if we don't get all the way through, I will collect them. And if we do get all the way through, then you know the answers, right? I may collect them anyway just so I can see, oh yeah, we're cool on the subjects, we're not so cool on the direct objects or something like that. But if everybody could grab their sheet. Amelia, do you have yours? Excellent. I'm sorry I keep calling you out. Like, I just want to make sure you have it and you're not just sitting there, oh, I wish somebody would share with me, but you're too nice to say it. I just want to make sure that's not happening. Okay, here we go. Maybe, should we go around the room?
Yeah.
You like going around the room? It kind of outs people. Okay, the majority don't like being put on the spot. So you can just say the ending, all right? Anybody. Don't be afraid. And also don't be afraid to make a mistake. Because don't be Mrs. Ferguson, who's lived most of her life afraid of making a mistake. And then I don't learn things. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm afraid of trying. So don't be afraid. There's no laugh. Ridetne. Non ridemus. We will not laugh. Okay. Cur Mark Julian pulsat. Marcus, quia Marcus pulsat Juliam. In this case, Marcus is the subject. Why does Marcus hit Julia? We know we need a subject because we have Juliam, we have a direct object. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes.
Julia cantat?
Ita. Said, est responsum. Hic est responsum. Marcus Julium pulsat, quia Julium cantat. Juliam, et Julia. Marcus Juliam pulsat, quia Julia cantat. Why did we use different endings? It's the same girl, it's the same name.
Because it's different.
Okay, what's Juliam? What's the first Julia doing in the sentence? What's its job in the sentence? Well, I mean, the word, so when I say job, I mean subject, direct object, object of the preposition. When I say job, that's what I mean. It's the direct object. Marcus hits Julia, and what is the direct object? The thing that gets hit, right? In the second half, quia Julia cantat, what is the job of Julia? Yeah, remember, what is the job? Always means subject, direct object, object of the preposition, right? That's job. Julia is the subject. In the first one, she's the direct object, and the second one, she's the subject. Julia sings. She's doing the singing. Does that, even if you missed it on the paper, does that make sense to everyone? Okay, that's the most important thing. Julia plor quia Marcus e pulsat. What goes with the plor? plorat. We've met this over and over. Julia plorat. Quia Marcus pulsat. Spell it. E-A-M. Am. Est Juliam. It means her, right? It's the stand-in. And we know what ending to use because it's the exact same ending we would use if it were the word Julia. Marcus hit her. Direct object. Beautiful. Amelia, this is almost impossible to go over out loud, isn't it? We're going to press ahead though. Amelia Puella. I'm going to put whatever most people vote for. Audit, and then we'll see if it's right. At when it. Okay. I love Amelia audit at Wenit. Bene. Quem Amelia audit. Who did she hear?
Well,
The girl. That means Amelia is the subject and girl is the, what is the job? Direct object. And so what ending do we have to put if it's a direct object? Amelia audit puellam et venit. Es bene? So some of these are hard. You guys are getting it. You guys are coming along very well. Marcus, Quint. We're just going to put whatever you tell me, and we'll Quintus. With that, at a. Spell it. Eum interrogat. Quis me wo got. All right. So Marcus sees Quintus and asks him, who's calling me? Basically. So who's doing the seeing? Marcus is doing the seeing. And whom is he seeing? Quintus. And so what does that make Quintus's job? Makes it the direct object. So what do we need here? Quintum. Let's check. Quintum. Does it make sense? Everybody follow? Boom. Okay. The moment you stop following me, say, non intelligo. Well, or nescio. I don't know. Nescio. All right. This is coming very handy. Quint. Next one. Quint. It's no nest. Mater quint with it. Oh no, that is the one we just did. All right, Mrs. Ferguson is very confused. It is the one that starts with quint. Quint. What do we like? Quintus. We like that. Seem to like that one. Respond. What is it? Respondum. Respondet. Julia. Boo. Oh, it's a whole word we're missing. Okay, we like mater. Anybody put something else in that? Whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one that starts with Quintus. Respondet. Julia. Et. We have some candidates here. All right. We're going to figure out what is happening. Do we remember in the one just before, it said, Marcus sees Quintus and asks him, who's calling me? So the question that's being answered, respondet, right? Answered. Quintus answers the question, who's calling me? And the answer is Julia is calling Te. Julia is calling you. Bene, bene, Christianus. Um, yes, I mean, et is probably not going to be a great one. If Julia is calling mother, is something you don't actually, well, I don't know if they've used matrem as the direct object form of mater. But yeah, the question was, and you might not have picked up on this, that it's kind of, they're connected. Who's calling me? And the answer, Julia's calling you. Te. Te and me go along with our, and eum and eam, go along with our collection of accusative endings, our vast collection of accusative words and endings that we are becoming connoisseurs of and collecting and putting on our shelf. Okay. Julius Julius dormit. It. Quintus Juliam vocat. Quod. Bene, est verum. Quintus vocat Juliam. Julia is the direct object in this case. So Quintus vocat Juliam. Marcus ridet quia non venit. Julia non venit. Because Julia doesn't come. Let's see what time it is. Okay. Aemilia Marcum verberat. Oh, we're getting very familiar with that, aren't we? Unfortunately. Marcum. Bene. Marcus is the direct object in that case. Amelia verberat Marcum. Are we doing okay? Yeah. Are we following? Excellent. Julius venit quia Marcum plorat. Does anybody have another candidate? Marcus plorat. We have two candidates. Our question is, who's doing the crying at the end of that sentence? Marcus is doing it, so he's probably the subject. Quia Marcus plorat. If we say Marcum plorat, because he cries Marcus. I don't know what that means, honestly. Like, or I don't know what that means. Okay. Oh, this one has tons of blanks. You know what? I am going to tell you, they're all doing the same job. Julius, Aemili. Oh, somebody spell it. Amelia et Marcus et Quint. What do you say? Quinti et Juli. Okay. We have some very, like a controversy going on here. Let's check it out. Because we can't all be right. We could all be wrong, but we can't all be right. Juli, okay, who's doing the seeing in that sentence? Well, let's find something with a subject ending. Julius. Julius has a subject ending. And the sentence says, Julius sees. Can we put this at the end? Because Julius sees a whole boatload of people. Julius, it appears to me, Julius vedet, he sees, in English, Amelia et Marcus et Quintus and Julia. He sees all of them. So what is the job of all of them? What are they all doing? They're all direct objects. Because Julius sees whom? Julius sees Amelia, and he sees Marcus, and he sees Quintus, and he sees Julia. So we have two kinds of words, right? We have Aemili et Juli. We also have words like Marc et Quint. What kind of ending for a direct object do we put in Amelia and Julia type of words? Well, let's look. Direct object. Aemiliam et Juliam. Because they're feminine and they're direct objects. What kind of ending do I put on Marcus and Quintus if they're being the direct object? Marcum et Quintum. So Julius, Aemiliam, et Marcum, et Quintum, et Juliam videt. He sees the whole crew. Non dormit. Julius dicit. This is what Julius has to say. Puer, qui parvul pulsat improbus est. Puer qui pulsat puella. Okay, we have controversy. We have and et par. We are just not, I love this. We just don't know. That's the moral of the story. Okay. I want to rewrite this. Okay. Puer. We have a main sentence. What is Julius saying? Puer improbus est. Puer, the boy is bad. Puer improbus est. What kind of boy? Qui, a boy who does what? Parv puel pulsat. Parvam puellam pulsat. See, when we break it down, well, we can't because it's not the end of the sentence. Sorry. How about? Ooh. Okay. All right. The boy is bad. What boy? A boy who hits a girl. What kind of girl? A small girl. I don't hit any girls, not even big girls, but it's even worse when they're small. So does everybody see why we're going to choose for this? Because in this little section, who's getting hit? The girl. It's happening to her. A boy who hits a girl. And we have seen a little bit, we're going to see this much more, that when we have an adjective of some sort, it always matches the thing it's talking about. So if she's a small girl, it has to go with the ending that's on girl in this case. If it were the subject, she'd be parva puella. They would still match. Does that make sense to everybody? This is a more complicated type of sentence, but we're going to, when we meet them again and again, they gave you quite a few in chapter 3, but I think that you'll get used to them. Okay, you know what? I want to stop there. And I would just like everybody to give me your papers. I promise you, I am not going to put frowny faces or exclamation points or any sort of nastiness on your paper. It just will help me.
Make sure there's a name.
Yeah, put your name on it. Okay. Because then I can know which one of you might need help.
I was struggling a little bit with mine, so it's not fully complete.
Oh, no, it's fine. You know what? I may complete it for you, and then you can go over it. No, I mean, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was
do you know what?
Stuff with it.
You know what? I'm just going to, where's your name? I know. I said, what's your name? Okay. No, I'm gonna go over them.
Mine is not the best at the
You know what? Don't worry. This is why we're practicing. And the reason I'm taking them, I just want to make this perfectly clear. Like we are going to have to work to learn, because you can't learn any language without working, right? But that said, you can't learn it in like 7 weeks, right? So I just want to know, do we get it or do we not get it? You know what I might do? I might take a look at them and not fill them in. We might do more of them together next week. We'll see, okay?
Awesome.
We actually, would everyone like to just keep them and continue working on them if you didn't get them done?
Yeah. Yes.
That's actually a much better idea. So that was, now I've got to give them all back, and I've just wasted time. Grace, Luke, Bryn, and one and the dude Christian, and one that just is empty.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I forgot mine.
Oh, okay. Well, see, you're the example, Julie. Why didn't you say, can I look? Oh, maybe you were looking on Grace. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, here's what I want to do with the time we have. I want to introduce you to chapter 4, Capitulum Quartum. This week we're going to work through Capitulum Quartum. I made a video. I hope they help, because I try to stop and like rearrange the words for you and show you things. I have visual aids. I have some of the visual aids today with me. But let me just tell you a little bit about what happens. I'll tell you very slowly in Latin, just a few things. Julius est Dominus. Julius est Dominus servorum. Et Davus est servus. Et medus et servus. Intelligitis, do you understand? Medus est servus. Davus est servus. Julius est Dominus. Imperat servus. Julius habet sacum, est sacus. Sacus est vacuus. Meus sacus est vacuus. Non est in sacco. Vacuus est. Said, Julius habet sacum, et numi sunt in sacco. Est numus. Numus technically is a coin. Numus. Julius habet multos numos. Multos. Magnus numerus. Habet centum. Centum numos. In sacco. Sed medus est servus improbus, et sumit numos e sacco domini. Est fur, a thief. Et Julius videt saccum, non videt numos. Ubi sunt numi? Habet decem numi in sacco. Decem numos. Primum habet centum. Sed medus sumit numos. Et nunc Julius habet decem, non centem. Oh, that's what happens in this story. Medus is a thief. And he steals a bunch of money out of Julius's sack. And Julius is not going to be happy about this, okay? So in this chapter, you're going to get to do a couple things. You're going to get to count to 10. Because Julius is going to keep counting his money. And be like, what the heck? Where are my 100 coins? Unos, dos, tres, cuatro. And he keeps counting them. So we're going to learn to count to 10 in this chapter. Which is very useful, and you're going to recognize a lot of the numbers because they pop up in other places in English. But another thing we're going to learn is back to salve et vale. We are going to learn how to give a command. A command. In English, this is called the imperative mood. Impero means command. So an imperative is a command. So if I say, shut the door, I don't usually say a subject, do I? I usually mean you do it. You know. But so when I tell someone to do something, usually it means you. You do not have to shut the door, by the way. Or,
There's a door there.
oh,
There is.
it opens the other way. Or open the window. Or read your book. Or do your homework. Watch the video. It's a bunch of commands, right? Now, pay attention to this, guys. If I stand here and I say, I'm just looking at the wall, read the next sentence. Do you know if I want one of you to do it or all of you to do it together? If I just say, read the next sentence.
All of us? That would mean just.
I mean, do you know for sure?
No.
You don't really know. In English, usually we point or I look directly at someone. But if I don't, if I just turn around and I say, read the next sentence, you guys just look at each other like, who does she mean? Does she want all of us to do it? Does she want one of us to do it? In Latin, we never, ever, ever have that problem. Because there's one word that means one person, I want you to do it. And there's another word that means I want y'all to do it. I want y'all. I think we should revive y'all. I don't think it should be Southern people. Because this is the only way we have in English to know if you means one person or you means lots of people in English. In Latin, they have two different words. So salve, if I say salve, hello, this is the ending that means I'm saying it to one person. If we say salvete, it's the ending that means I'm saying it to more than one person. So that's why I say to you, salvete, and you say to me, salve. And when we say goodbye, I say to you, valete, except I don't because you don't leave. And then you say to me, vale. So one thing you may have noticed in, I wonder if I can trust these. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. One thing you may have noticed in our reading is, and you're getting really good at it because you were filling in ridet, vocat, dormit. They have different vowels. Have you noticed? Like some verbs seem to have at, some have et, and some have it. And don't worry about the why yet. You will find out. But just know there are different groups of verbs. And you are about to learn just about the easiest thing I could possibly teach you. Since you have learned vocat, tacet, means tacet significat non dicit, tacet. Discedit, et audit. When we give a command to one person, watch this. It's like magic and it's so fun. Boom, 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 boom. Commands. Woka, woka. Call. Like, woka, woka Julia. Call Julia. Take, take, take. Take. Diskedi. No, not diskedi. At Audi said, these are all commands to one person. Does that make sense? I mean, that's all there is to it. If somebody, venit, we've learned the verb venit. Amelia venit. If Amelia wants someone to come, Marcus, veni. And it's a command. Suddenly it's a command. Seriously, that's all there is to it. And salve comes from a verb and vale comes from, they're just commands. They're just commands to one person. The only little tricky thing here is that when we're talking directly to a person, direct address, like if I say, Christian, please read the next sentence, and then I say it to him, like I say his name, or in poetry, oh, muses, help me to write poetry, and I'm talking to them, it's called direct address. And when I talk to a girl, I just call her name. Julia, Veni, Julia. It's easy. When I talk to a boy, I don't know why, but the ending, that's usually Marcus or Quintus, turns into Marque. It turns into an E. This is easy to notice because an E is not an ending with any noun that you've ever seen before, and so it kind of jumps out at you like, what's up with Marque? Quinte. So if we say, come here, Marcus. Veni, Marque. Veni, Marque. If we want Medus, for example, if Medus has stolen your money, and you might want Medus to come so you can question him. Mede, Veni. Come here, Medus. So if it's Julius, Medus, Quintus, Davus, est Mede, est Quinte, est Marque. And it simply means I'm talking to you. Marcus, shut the door. And Marque, Claude, Claudeianium. Shut the door. Seriously, that's pretty much the only new thing in the chapter. One other thing, smaller, but does this make sense to everybody? So can everybody grab your book? Let's look at an actual example in chapter 4. So you kind of know the plot now. You see a picture of Medus at a table counting his money. And take a look at line 24. Do you see little numbers in the margin? Look for 24. And what I'm looking at 24 is the dawum woka. Dawum woka. Does everybody see those? That in the on line 24? Call dawus. He's telling someone to call. Woka. Woka. Woka dawum. Call dawus. So that's our one example. But look down on line 34 and 35. Do you see salve domine et salve serve? Salve domine, hello master. Notice dominus is domine because he's talking, hello master, and he's addressing him. Salve serve, hello slave. And we're talking to the slave, serve. Do you get it? Do you see? Look down on line 41. Amelia says, responde, dawe. Responde dawe. Dawus, answer him. Dawe, responde. It's a command, yes.
It looks like Dave to me.
It does look like Dave. But it's dawe for us. Let's not, because he's not always going to be Dave, you see. All right, one other thing that pops up in this chapter are some more possessive pronouns. You have learned meus et tuus. Est meus liber, est tuus liber. It's my book, it's your book. But we haven't learned how to say it's his book or it's her book, right? We've only learned to say it's mine, it's yours. But how do we say it's his? We have two ways to do it, unfortunately, because we have two ways we mean his or her. Eius we've met already, I think. Aemilia est mater, Marcus est filius eius, is her son. Marcus est filius eius. But sometimes we use another his or her suis, which means his own. For example, I'll do it in English. Mrs. Ferguson is picking up her book. Mrs. Ferguson is picking up her book. Think about what the word her means. Now watch this. Mrs. Ferguson is picking up her book. Do you see? And it's the same words, but I wouldn't be able to tell in English without visuals, without acting it out, whether I meant her own book or her book. Do you see what I mean? Because her for us just means belonging to some woman. I don't know, maybe it's her own, maybe it's someone else's. And in this chapter, you're going to see a distinction between this would be the her or his that means someone else, right? This is when I picked up Julia's book. This is the one that means your own, his own, or her own. Now, yes?
They just put like the first word and then they put that right behind it.
Yeah, suis, and it's an adjective. It's like meus et tuus. So it would be her own slave, her own island, her own town. And it matches whatever, because it's like an adjective. Now, I don't expect you to remember all of that. Therefore, I have our wonderful weekly handouts for you, which have, actually, let me give it to you, and then let's take a look at it together. Everything I just told you about is on here. In addition, I have the vocabulary helps and the notes on particular lines to help you read through. And your task, if you want to write this down, let's write this down, and then I will go over the sheet with you. For next week, I want you to read chapter 4 at least 3 times. And the first time, come on in. The first time, oh, thank you. And I've got your stuff. that we're going to do for tomorrow.
Thanks.
You are welcome. Have a good time tomorrow. The first time, use my video. Because I get out my little sakus et numus, I try to act it out a little bit. Also, you can watch the Luke Rainieri video, right? And you can read it on your own. You can just keep watching my video over and over again if you just love hearing my voice so much and you just... But the first time, it would be good to go to mine on my YouTube channel, because I did try to stop and explain and act it out, okay? That's all I want you to do. Now, let's take a look at this sheet while we wait for everyone else to come. Okay, the sheet I just gave you, it tells you at the top the vocative case. Vocative simply means I'm talking to you. It's that mede, sad way. It talks about the fact that verbs have different vowels. We've learned this. Vocat, ridet, discedit. And then at the bottom, it tells you how to give a command for each of those, which, as we found out, you just take the T away. Then at the bottom, it says possessive adjectives. You've learned meus and tuus. And if you turn the page to the back of that first page, it says, if the possessor is not the subject of the sentence, use eius. If the possessor is the subject, use suis. I would like you to read over this page. There's nothing on this paper that's hard to understand. And I've already kind of explained it to you once, so it'll just be a reminder. And then it lists the numbers for you. I told you Julius is going to be doing some counting, and so you can count along with him. Then you have information about words on particular lines. You can use that as you read along. And you have a vocabulary list for chapter 4. All right? So that is all I want you to do. Work your way through chapter 4 at least 3 times. Hey, if it's easy, do it 4 times. I don't care if you watch a video while you do it every single time. But at least watch my video once, because I tried to make the chapter easier for you to understand. Does anybody have any questions? Does that make sense? No, we're going to do that together. No, only chapter 4. As many times as you can work through it. You should be able to do it at least 3 times. But if you can do more, do more. That'd be awesome. All right?